The greatest asset in business is not money, it's the mindset that creates it. This is Surya and Anika Roshni at the MOC desk welcoming you all for this colloquium sessions on the topic of mental health awareness. Now I'd like to invite Ms. Kamakshi Ratnam to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to everyone. It gives me a great honor and contentment to welcome you all for today's colloquium session. I take a great opportunity to warmly welcome our chief guest, Mrs. G.S. Kritik Ma'am, clinical psychologist, Manadin Mayam, Erode, and executive director of Vaidya Academy for Karayan Training. Ma'am, your valuable presence today adds significance to this session and gives us excitement to learn new knowledge today. So, I welcome you, ma'am. It's a great pleasure to warmly welcome Dr. K. Malamati, ma'am, Director in charge of BSMED. Ma'am, your presence today inspires us towards excellence. So, I welcome you, ma'am. And I respectfully welcome our colloquial coordinator, our faculty, Dr. G. Barani ma'am, Associate Professor of BSMED. Welcome you, ma'am. And a big shout out to all our enthusiastic students who have let us dive into this session to learn, share, and grow again. Once again, a heartfelt welcome to all. Let's make this colloquium session a memorable and impact event today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kamakshi Ratnam. Dr. K. Malamati ma'am, Professor and the Director in charge at Bharatiya School of Management and Entrepreneurial Development, Bharatiya University, Coimbatore. She brings over.
Good morning, dear students. Today, we are not going to talk about money. We're not going to talk about companies. We're not going to talk about we're not going to talk about any of the management principles. But what we are going to talk about is the person is we're going to talk about ourselves. We're going to talk about our mind and our heart. To understand this, we had a small brainstorming session and we said enough of talking about all the management aspects. It's time for us to talk about, take time to think about ourselves and think about our own well-being. Because tomorrow, as a manager, you're going to hold a position where you're going to have n number of subordinates. You're going to have deadlines, you're going to have targets, you're going to face competitions, you're going to face placements. So in all these activities, you will be definitely facing stress, anxiety, sometimes loneliness, sometimes empty. See, behind all these confidence phases, I'm sure there will be one student who is facing loneliness. There will be one student who is facing anxiety. There will be one student who is depressed. But yes, you're not showing that in your faces. Okay, you are giving this very smiling face and you're trying to prove that you are strong. But deep down in your heart and in your mind, you know you are not strong. You know you are lonely, you know you are empty, you are stressed, you are facing anxiety, you are depressed. But you outside to the outside world, you are showing that you are very, very strong. It's okay. It's okay. See, You have to face it all alone. This is not. You get my point, dear students. See, in this uh, rushed environment, in this highly competitive environment, all these are inevitable and all these are part of our life. Whether you are going out to work or you are a housewife, whatever it is, all these are a part of our life. We cannot avoid it. But what is more important is to understand how we can come out of it. This is most important. Because when we rush, when we have target to be achieved, when we have career to be focused upon, what we forget is we run after those career and target deadlines. Fine. And what we forget is at the end of the day, we are all human beings. We all need rest. And when this pressure is too much on us, the end is a hopeless situation, and sometimes that end also ends up into a very disastrous situation, and sometimes that also leads us to a level where we try to commit suicide. You get it, my dear students? One thing we should remember: the life is given to us from God, whichever God you believe in. God has given this life to us. We have no right to take this life away from us. But what is the responsibility God has given us? You have to preserve this. If God decides to take it away, let Him decide. But we should not be in a position, go and push ourselves in a position that we take this life away from us. Are you getting the point, dear students? So these are the small issues I'm sure Madam is going to address here. And the main aim is to make you understand more than running after money, more than running after this competitive environment, more than running after a position. What is important is to remain stable, balanced, and focused. And how we can do it is what Madam is, I'm sure Madam is going to cover all these aspects and help a student to become more focused, balanced, and have a resilient approach towards life. Sometimes down the line, when I was a student, I read somewhere said you cannot avoid birds flying over your head. Okay, we cannot avoid it. But what we can avoid is we can avoid the birds from building nest on our head. You understand this, dear students? So this is what we're going to focus upon this day, and I'm sure we have the right person here. He is a psychologist. He is physics, and you're the right person. We thought we'll have the academician here, but then again in the brainstorming session, we said no. We want to have an English who is more focused and at present who is dealing with the students in all these aspects. So, Madam, thank you for inviting and taking your valuable time and coming over here. And I'm sure, dear students, this day is going to be a very useful day for us because we are going to focus our attention on ourselves, how we are going to beautify our life and how we are going to beautify the life of others. Thank you, dear students. Over to you.
Hello? My test. Audible? Okay, you have been given a paper to write your queries and put it in the back. Okay, we need not write your name. Whatever questions you have regarding your mental health, whatever, you can put it in the back. We'll address that. Okay. Everybody check fast. In a routine or ma'am session. It is a bad one. Write your issues, if any, and put it in the back.
everybody. And I need not be earth-shattering problems. Alright? You people are not ruling the world to come up with how do I stop the war and all that. It's small things that you cannot manage, which you're finding difficult to manage. You mentioned that is good. Just make use of an opportunity because the session costs 2,000 rupees. This is free.
Immense pleasure to introduce today's key guest, Mrs. T.S. Krishna, a versatile professional whose life and work beautifully blend empathy, education, and empowerment. Mrs. G.S. Kriti ma'am is a renowned clinical psychologist currently practicing at Manatak Mayam in Erode, where she has guided and counseled over 1,000 children, adolescents, and young adults through various emotional and developmental challenges, with more than a decade of professional experience. Ma'am has pursued a master's degree in clinical psychology to deepen her understanding of human mind and behavior. Interestingly, Mrs. Kriti ma'am initially began her career with a background in psychology, interior design, and also worked as a teacher, magazine publisher, and designer experiences that have honed her exceptional communication skills, creativity, and empathy. Ma'am is deeply admired for her calm, non-judgmental approach that creates a safe and trusting space for those she works with. Matt's journey into psychology is truly inspiring, shaped by a heartfelt commitment to student well-being and a keen understanding of human nature. Beyond her clinical and educational achievement, Mrs. Kritik Ma'am holds a position of deep social impact as the managing trustee of a rural primary school founded by her grandfather, a freedom fighter, respected late Mr. N.V. Kandaswamy sir. Through this institution, she continues to uphold his legacy, offering quality education to children from underprivileged background and nurturing values of compassion, equality, and integrity. Despite her many responsibilities, Mrs. Kriti ma'am remains remarkably humble and approachable. Known among her peers of her wit, warmth, and sincerity, she continues to inspire others with her guiding principle to serve with sincerity, humility, and heart. Let us all put our great applause together to warmly welcome our esteemed teacher, Mrs. G. Kriti ma'am, a true example of service, compassion, and dedication.
Take a breath, please. She was taking so many deep breaths in between by the time she completed. All right, I'm happy to be here. It was all of a sudden that she invited me, and it really is nice to be here to educate you all on mental health. Okay, mental health. Does it sound like a very big topic or mental health? Dana? No? No? It does seem like a big issue. Everywhere there is mental health. Of late, I think the government has given some mandate. I've been called in every college. I've become popular all of a sudden. Every college wants me there to talk about mental health, gender identity. There's a lot of things going on. And it's a pleasure that there's so much awareness on mental health. Before we start the session, can I ask you all something? Yeah? Physical health. அப்படின்னு நான் சொன்னா, what are the diseases that comes to your mind? Fever, cold, cancer, plague, headache, dengue, stomach pain, kidney stones, brain tumor, yeah. Chicken pox, must be she suffered with chicken pox quite a bit because she's alright. Okay, chicken pox, then malaria. Technical names for சொல்லலாம். Okay, this is how much நம்ம சொல்லிட்டே இருக்கலாமா ஒரு 10 minutes நம்மளால record பண்ணிட்டே வர முடியுமா? We can talk quite a lot about physical health, right? But if I ask you, name few mental health issues, but besides depression and anxiety. Schizophrenia. Who said schizophrenia? I'm glad that you could name that. All right, then. Anxiety and stress are the same, so you can't say tension, stress, anxiety, or depression. Besides this, because this has become a fancy term now. Bipolar disorder. Who was that? All right, great. All right. Okay, good. Then OCD. All right. Okay, not bad at all. I'm happy that you people are watching movies because Dhanush gives out the most number of psychiatric terms out there. Dementia, good. Is there somebody in the family suffering from dementia? Some old person at home? All right, okay. Then I'm surprised. This is the first time I'm getting so many when I remove depression and anxiety. All right, then what else? Hysteria. Hysteria is no more considered as a disorder because they named it differently now. They call it a personality disorder now. They named it borderline personality disorder. So personality disorders also. All right. Then hallucination comes under schizophrenia. We'll talk about all that. You'll find it very interesting. Okay. Kata cinema kata kekkarada kuda better aagum. Somebody might write a script after listening to the session. Then Alzheimer's, all right, good. What is the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's? Okay, we look at that. Then, okay, shall we go into the session now? Commonly, what happens is everybody, at least 90% of the population, all right, 100% of the population will go through a phase of depression or anxiety. All of us would, at some point in our life, will go through depression or anxiety. All right, but mental illness, there's not much awareness because of what ma'am said, the stigma attached to mental illness. Like I commonly tell my psychiatrist, if it is raining, pouring, cats and rats out there, no one will come and stand under our buildings, even for to take shelter. Why? Why do you think no one will come and stand under our buildings even to take shelter? What would happen if they come there? A friend of theirs passes by and sees him standing under a psychiatric institution. He wouldn't know that he's taking shelter. So what would happen? And that is the stigma attached to mental health. But physical health causes under distress, the amount of distress that physical health causes is much lesser to the distress mental health can cause in the family. For example, if your mom has fever and you have to go to college, it's a very important day for you, you have to come to college. What would you tell your mother? Yeah, you may give her a paracetamol, make a soup possibly, or do something, make 2 idlis, leave it by her bedside and say, please ma, take care, you take all this, and if there's a problem, call me. I need to go to college. Would we do that or not? But your mother has been crying for a week. Alright, she's been crying, and she seems very low. She just lies down, she doesn't get up to work. She's always having a long face and there's no smile. You haven't seen her smile for a week. And you have to come to college. It is a very important day. Would you be able to come? Why not? It's the same. Mom is sick, mom is dull. Why is it difficult for you to come to college? Answer it. It's not a taboo subject, that's what we are going to discuss today. Why do you find it difficult to come to college? Yes? She's mentally disturbed. What is it making you fear coming to college? Why are you not able to leave her behind? Huh? I can't hear you. Anybody here? What would be your fear? What is that wrong? We are here, yeah, fear of suicide. Please feel free to talk about it. It's not going to burn your mouth because that is the subject for discussion today. And that is exactly the stigma that we are going to discuss today. Because you are afraid that you might end up committing suicide. That's the worst fear. So, even if she's not, but if she's constantly dull, if she's constantly sulky, oh, okay, if your father comes back from the office, he's putting on a long face and he's just sitting dull, he's looking up, he's not talking, he's not eating. Do you think you all can laugh and play around in the house? But if your mom has fever, you can sit and watch TV. You won't feel bad about watching TV. But if your mom is dull, do you think you can go switch on the TV? That is the difference between physical health and mental health. Physical health affects the person and the person can just lie down, we are confident that she will get better. Whereas with mental health, if someone is distressed in the family or disturbed in the family, the whole family loses peace. All of us will have, because anxiety is very, very contagious. I once had a patient who came, it was the patient's father who came to talk to the psychiatrist. I was sitting beside the psychiatrist. And the man was going on talking. In between the interview, I got up, because he was talking to the psychiatrist, not to the psychologist. I got up and left the room. After the interview was over, the doctor called me and said, why did these were my initial training period. And he asked me, why did you leave the room? I said, I don't know, I just couldn't sit. It was making me agitated. I was becoming uncomfortable sitting here. That is why I had to leave the room. And he said, this is how anxiety works. Anxiety is contagious. The moment a person gets anxious, and when they, even in your classroom, when somebody is anxious and they forever keep talking about their problems, whenever they walk into the room, you find an excuse to leave the room. Have you felt? Have you seen that happen with you? ஐயோ அந்த புலம்புவாளே அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அந்த புலம்பல் கேட்க முடியாம நீங்க வெளியே போறதில்ல அந்த புலம்பல் உங்க மனசையும் it will make you feel heavy. That is why you will want to leave. Alright? That is how bad mental health is. And ma'am wanted me to talk about mental health awareness, which we typically do in undergraduation first year, because between the age of 18 and 24 is the first time, if you have any mental health issues, like schizophrenia, bipolar, all that was spoken about, OCD and all that, it will manifest in your life between the age of 18 to 24. Your first time would be between the age of 18 and 24, which might go unrecognized because of lack of awareness towards mental health. But if it is identified, it is not curable, but it is treatable. It's like how if you are a diabetic, if it is an early onset, if you identify it early, you can start with a small dose of medication. Similarly, in mental health, you can start with a very small dose of medication, and it can be maintained. But if you let go of that and it is not identified, it will come back to you again. It is episodic. It will come back. நம்ம எப்படி சினிமா வந்து ஒரே சினிமாவை இப்போ யூனிவர்சல் சொல்றீங்க வேற வேற பேர்ல it comes in different forms and it's the same theme though. So similarly, it will come back to you in around 30 or 40 when it will become unmanageable. So that is why early awareness is important, and I briefly touch on that awareness of mental illness. Like you students said, depression, which is the most basic, anxiety and depression is the most basic form of it. Next time, please have a fan for the speaker. Yeah? All right? No, that is okay. Because it might have a whooshing sound on the mic. Okay? Depression and anxiety. Anxiety is common stress, common issues where everybody goes through a phase of anxiety. But anxiety is treatable when a person cannot function. College it is difficult for me to go to college. That itself becomes difficult. That is when it becomes any mental illness. All of us will have traits of it. She will become very tense. And anxiety is high in women and depression is high in men. Alright? So, it's a trait. But if it stops you from functioning, if it stops you from coming to college, if it stops you from doing your day-to-day work, that is when it becomes clinical. Alright? So first we will talk about depression. Depression is the hero of our subject today. We are going to talk about suicide. So depression is the elephant in the room. Depression is treatable. Simple. It's self-remitting. Now depressed your body will cure you. But before I give my body the time to take care of it, or body or mind the time to take care of it, I end up committing suicide. Alright? So that is why depression is dangerous. Depression is self-remitting. With time, it will go away. It won't be with you all the time. But we will not be able to stand it that many of them, I'll give you the statistics also, many of them end up killing themselves. Alright? The number of people who died in COVID is much lesser than the number who dies in suicide every year. Can you believe it? Over a year, the COVID suicide jasti. But, and that too, do you think all suicides are reported in Tamil Nadu? Most of the time, usually, low BP, the suicides will be covered up in different sickness. Report the suicides, but reported suicide rate is higher than COVID. So it is, and student community stands the highest. And we will be looking at, and who do you think stands highest, women or men? Boys or girls? Boys. Okay, boys kill themselves a lot more than women because women by nature are like. Why do you think women don't kill themselves and boys kill themselves? Men don't and women do.
We talk, we try.
ஏதோ பசங்களுக்கு வந்து பார்த்தா it's like womanly nature. That is the one that is keeping them safe. புலம்புறது. புலம்பி, we get better. And we cry and we get better. But men and boys have to be boys, right? You can't cry. The society has told you not to cry. So you come to a point where you are filled with darkness. You feel you can't get out of this. You feel there's no way out of this. When there's actually a lot of, for a very simple example, there's a road called, Priyan. For other people from Erode, there's when I was learning driving, there's a road called Metu Road in Erode. Okay, it's a very high road. When you're standing there, the road will be jam-packed. And when I was learning to drive, it would cause me so much stress because I'm thinking of how am I going to get through this road and to my father's house. So I'll wake up at 5 in the morning and I will drive and go and park because that time it will be empty. But then later on what happened was, standing there and being scared of the amount of traffic, if I just slightly move, in front of me, the vehicles start moving away. When you look at the whole picture, it looks bad. But at that moment, there is some path that will let you move and you can reach your destination. So, for women, when we talk, we scream, we cry, we show our anger, we find the smallest path over there because my head space is clear. So, because I've thrown it all out, I vomited everything. But for men, everything is here, they are not able to look past this. Alright? So, there should be somebody to push your hand away. When I push my hand away, I'm able to see everything else, and yes, I do have a problem. But here, I can see only put your hand in front of your face and check it and see. Here, you can only see your hand, you can't see anything besides that. Thank you for listening to me. The others, look, all the Indians know they didn't even try. They were feeling too shy. But what could you see when you put your hand here? Only your hand. When you push it away? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Alright, so that is how you have to learn to look at problems. Just put it away and learn to look at it objectively, not as a subject in it. Objective, I hope you understand objectively and subjectively. என்னையே அதுக்குள்ள இது என்ன பிரச்சனை அப்படின்னு பார்க்காம இது மேமோட பிரச்சனை இதை நம்ம எப்படி சால்வ் பண்ணி தரலாம் அப்படின்னு பார்க்கலாம். You give a third person's name to it. And you can learn to talk to yourself first. Have an inner dialogue because that way you can sort a lot of things out. Alright? So what is depression and what are the symptoms? Can I have the slides, please? Okay. Just like a fracture, mental health problems are real conditions. சும்மா அதை இவன் நினைச்சுட்டு உட்காந்துருக்காத அதெல்லாம் இல்லை it's all in your mind. No, they are real issues. There are times when you just can't get away from it without seeking help. Alright? So fracture எலும்பு விட்டா தன்னால கூடிரும். But பழைய மாதிரி கூடுமா? Will it be straight? You break your hand, it will heal. The body will find a way to heal it. But will it be the way it was before? Similarly, mental health issues will also, you will learn to heal it. But you cannot go back to the functioning of who you were or what you were before. Alright? And they are not signs of weakness. If someone has depression, it is not a sign of weakness. It is not what he was looking for. It happened to him or her, and we have to help them through it. How do we help them through it? How do you think we can help them through it? Listening with objective listening without being judgmental. In my profile, that profile was written by my psychiatrist, by the way, and it was written unjudgmental listening. Somebody should feel that she will listen to me without இவளுக்கு பாத்தியா இதை பாத்தியா அப்படின்னு அந்த இது தாட் இல்லாம someone will listen to me அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷனை நீங்க ஏற்படுத்தி கொடுக்கணும். Somebody should feel one person. We run the suicide helpline in Erode. It's called NASM. We have volunteers from all walks of life. They are not psychiatrists. They sit there and they are trained to take phone calls. where they will listen, only listen. That moment is pushed away, they will not think of because they are able to ventilate, they are able to talk about all their fears to a person whose face they cannot see, and then they, 90% they will not commit suicide. It's just that moment. Okay, every time depression is, like I said, self-limiting. I'll tell you the symptoms first before I go as far as suicide. There is loss of appetite. They'll not be functioning as they were functioning before, and they might be irritable sometimes. கோவமே வராது இப்பெல்லாம் வரவங்க ரொம்ப கோவம் வருது உங்களுக்கு. Their nature will change. They'll be highly irritable, extremely anxious, and they will not be usually டக்குனு ஒரு வேலையை செய்றவங்க. They will not be completing their work on time. They're always dull and they don't rest well, and most of the time they don't come to college. They want to take leave and be at home. They don't like being in a close community. Visiting the hall, it will scare them, and they will talk about suicide. They will talk about, if you had noticed, after they die, only people say, "Aama, modale pesirukanga." But keep this in mind, if somebody இப்படி இருக்கிறதுக்கு சாகலாண்டா அப்படின்னு சொன்னா கூட please be vigilant around them. உடனே டிப்ரெஷன் முடிவு பண்ணிக்காதீங்க, உடனே செத்து போறான்னு முடிவு பண்ணிக்காதீங்க. இந்த the other symptoms also, irritability or anger or sadness or crying for the smallest thing, not coming, workla வந்து there's something going down in their work, all this is happening. Please ask them, are you okay? Like ma'am said, it's okay to not be okay. If having a common cold is okay, having depression is also okay. It's the same body, all right? When we can treat fever and cold, because these are the most common symptoms like fever and cold in physical illness, depression and anxiety is the most common in mental illness. So it is okay, just sit with them. It is not a sign of weakness. இது கூட உன்னால ஹேண்டில் பண்ண முடியும். If I can handle something, born from the same mother, if I can handle something and my sister can't handle something, or she can handle something and I'm not able to handle something, we were born and raised in the same home. But situations that I have gone through in my life and situations that she has gone through in her life, that changes how we look at life. So each one has different situations, each one has different problems, and each one has a different way of handling it. So nothing is, இதெல்லாம் ஒரு பிரச்சனையாடா? No, that person does not want to hear that. அவங்களுக்கு அது பிரச்சனை. So just sit and listen. You don't have to give them solutions. Solutions are not needed. Just a person to listen. அப்படியா? Okay, all right. This is all they need. அப்படியே okay கூட தேவையில்லை. Only looking at their face will be enough. நான் என்ன பண்ண முடியும் depression? No, you don't have to do anything. You only listen. And when you believe there's something wrong, you will tell a superior, either in college or at home, or you inform the parents. என்னமோ எனக்கு சரியில்லாம தோணுதுமா, to his parents. கொஞ்சம் டாக்டர் கூட்டி போய் பார்த்துக்கிறீங்களா? Just alert somebody of it. You cannot give solutions. Just report it to someone who is older than you and who can take care of it. All right? So they will plan it, they will search it on the internet, they will look at the easiest way to go. All this will be happening. So if you take somebody's phone and you see something, or if they search for something, please be assured that you have to talk to somebody about it. All right? Okay. Then we are in depression. As I said, it is self-limiting, but the worst thing is they will end up killing themselves. So we will talk about suicides much later. I will tell you more about anxiety. Anxiety, somebody spoke about anxiety, and I said not to talk about anxiety. Under anxiety, we have OCD. All right? So what is anxiety? All of you knew anxiety very well. What is anxiety? Easiest term, anxiety. What is anxiety? Nobody is telling me anything. Fear of what? Okay, but don't tell him. That's his anxiety. There's nothing wrong with it. I won't be judgmental and so on. He didn't give the right answer. He might have a fear of closing his mouth. No, I just drink some water. Fear of losing loved ones, then what else is anxiety? What makes you anxious? Huh? Trust issues, all right. Yeah, that is big now.
Fear of getting judged.
Fear of being judged, all right. Okay. Then, fear of public speaking, all right.
Overthinking.
Overthinking, rumination. Then, fear about your future, all right. We will talk about all that. Then, fear of losing yourself. Okay. All right. That's deep. Considering the day and age you are living in, yes, fear of losing yourself. All right. Inevitable, that and inevitable. So don't fear the inevitable. All right. Thank you for lightening the session. Okay. Then. Yeah. Boys க்கு எல்லாமே இஷ்டம் தான். Girls க்கு தான் எல்லாத்தையும் பொறுத்து கொடுக்குற வார்த்தை வாங்கி women are come here, but it's good for women that we were raised that way. But for men, they were raised. This community, society has been bad on them, not anything else. All right. Then fear of losing your hair. For everything. God. Okay. Tenali. Both of you don't have any fears at all. Okay.
Fear of making mistakes.
Fear of making mistakes. Yes, I can understand where you're coming from. All right. Rajeshwari, the birthday girl. Okay. Shall I proceed with this or any more fears? Okay, in this, what are the things that are unavoidable? In all the fears that we just spoke about, what are the things that are unavoidable? Fear of losing loved ones is unavoidable. Then, fear of losing your hair is unavoidable. Then, fear, no, that is not unavoidable. That is also not unavoidable. That is also not unavoidable. அது எல்லாமே there's a way to handle it. I will tell you how to go about it. So these are the only two things that cannot be stopped. இல்லையா? இப்போ நம்ம பேசினதுல we came around 8 or 9. In that, the only two things that cannot be stopped is stopping my hair from falling and stopping my loved ones from leaving. These are two things that are not in our hand. But the rest, fear of public speaking, fear of my future, fear of everything, fear of making mistakes, fear of losing myself, all this is coming from the same place. Why do you think she fears losing herself? It was a very peculiar fear, but it's the most common. She completed everything, fear of mistakes, so fear of losing yourself on the trip, fear of future, fear of losing yourself on the trip. Aprom where in it? Everything comes under that fear. How do you think you can overcome it? Any ideas? Okay, I always, in all my sessions, I say this, all right? I want to become the chief minister. One day it's going to come true in Nadikan. Yeah. I want to become the chief minister. She's laughing. Please don't laugh. It's my dream to be a chief minister in 20 years. Do you think it's possible?
Yes.
Hey. இப்போ இங்க இருக்கிற பொசிஷன்ல நின்னு சொல்லு. I am only running a school and a very small school at that. So do you think being a chief minister in 20 years possible?
The one who ran a tea shop became the CEO.
Yes, thank you. But he started his political career much earlier. I am 50 already. So by the time in 20 years I will be 70, the people will throw me out. All right, jokes apart. How do you think I can make it? It is possible. Okay, like all of you said, it is possible. How do you think I can make this possible? Fear of future, fear of making mistakes, please listen carefully. How do you think it is possible for me? You definitely would have learned it in your management policy. Make use of it over here. Yes, how do I plan this? How do I become a CM with proper planning? Yes, proper planning is the right thing. Okay, 5 years from now, if I want to be the local panchayat president, is that possible? I'm already running a school and I'm quite known in the society. Do you think in my locality, okay, it's a very small locality, so people have come to know us because my grandfather was a freedom fighter, they know our family. Considering all that, being a panchayat president, is it possible in 5 years? I perform extremely well as a president, I become a popular president. That is up to me, right? So, do you think I have a chance? I have of chance of becoming an MLA. Chance is the word of chance of becoming an MLA in the next 5 years. Yeah. And if I perform very well as an MLA, do you think I can become a minister? Then, if I become a minister, don't you think I can become a chief minister? God forbid the existing CM goes belly up. Do you think I can become a chief minister? So if my becoming a chief minister is possible, anything is possible. So whatever you fear of making mistakes, it be more because you are in a new place and you fear being judged by that. Alright? But mistakes is the only thing. Please remember this. If a person does not make mistakes, that person would be the most sore loser. The minute they lose, they will want to give up. Whereas a person who keeps making mistakes and keeps learning from his mistakes, if I keep making a mistake and I look at why was I laughed at for this? Where did this go wrong? If I start analyzing my mistakes, I will learn a lot of lessons. Mistakes are the best teachers. Nobody else can teach you life more than your mistakes. But the minute you make a mistake and you want to give up, it's all over, game over. Always, after a mistake, always look at what has gone wrong. How should I change this? Then it will stop being a mistake. Alright? And fear of losing myself. Don't hold yourself too strictly with a lot of principles and this is how I should be, this is what I should do, this is clear, that one is being possibly I'm right. There's a strong sense of right and wrong. Right and wrong depends on the person. Alright? Before you write something, all of you wrote your problems on a piece of paper, alright? I open it, I look at it and I throw it in the dustbin. Did what I do right? Did what I do, is my behavior right? I just open it. Why? Why is it not right? Why is it not right? Because you took the time to sit and write about it, I didn't care, I just looked at it and threw it out. Yeah? Because all the problems in that bag would be anxiety issues only. So I can talk about anxiety and finish it off. So I would have looked at it, glimpsed at it, okay, then I have a pace in line, I'm dumping it. Now am I right or wrong? I've looked at it, I know what it is, and because of my experience in this field with students, okay, this is now when you open it, you'll see how common all the problems are. So what am I putting it away, is it right or wrong? Is it right or wrong? So right and wrong is a perspective. இதுதான் right, இதுதான் wrong அப்படின்னு யாரும் ரூல் புக் எழுதி அங்க ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணி வைக்கல. Right and wrong and rules are there for proper functioning. But if it is affecting your functioning, then please try to look at your right and wrong and learn to judge it. That way you will not have the fear of losing yourself. It is your principles, it is who you are that is stopping you from wanting to become anything. So, Kadavul, go inside, look at yourself, don't look at yourself through your peers' eye, through your community's eye, through your teacher's eye, through your society's eye. Look at yourself with your own eyes. Do you like yourself? Do you like what you're doing? You are your own judge. Alright? So, look when something goes wrong or when you feel you're upset, look at where you have gone wrong and how you can right it. And what was the other one? Fear of losing myself, fear of making mistakes. Inevitable இருக்கிற விஷயங்களை மாற்ற முடியாத விஷயங்களை மாற்ற ட்ரை பண்ணாதீங்க. Don't waste your energy on it. மாற்றக்கூடிய விஷயங்களை மாற்ற முயற்சி பண்ணுங்க. Have a plan and work backwards. This is where I want to be. From this, I come here, from this I come here, from this I come here. We'll work backwards. And after you have a proper plan, in the minute, in the 5 வருஷம் நான் பஞ்சாயத்து தலைவராக மட்டும் தான் concentrate பண்ணணும். I will not concentrate on becoming the CM because it keeps frustrating me. I cannot be a proper. நான் CM ஆக வேண்டியவர் இந்த பஞ்சாயத்துல உட்கார்ந்துட்டு அப்படின்னு it will stop me from being my best self. So after I have a plan, I will only concentrate on what I have planned for this 5 years or 2 years of my life. Fear of future sonenglia, that is how you plan it. Where do I want to be? And come backwards. And what do I have to do now? Now, right now, what you have to do is focus on who you want to become, work towards it, don't get into relationships, because this is the worst time that you can get into relationship. Propose பண்ணி 6 மாசம் பரப்பீங்க பரன்னு அப்புறம் inevitably they will be dump பண்ணதுல 6 மாசம் தடதடன்னு போயிடும், கோர்ஸ் முடிஞ்சு போயிடும், எல்லாரும் பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்ஸ்ல உட்காந்துருவாங்க. பிரேக்கப் ஒரு 100 breakup. அது இந்த ஜெனரேஷன்ல my son has been in love since class 7. Now possibly he's on his 9th girlfriend or 10th girlfriend, I don't know. But the shittiest thing in this is I have to listen to all the sob stories because I'm a psychologist and I'm supposed to not be a mother and be a psychologist and listen to it. He says, "Ma, breakup, end of discussion." I was just telling Barney yesterday. என்னடா இது எந்த டிஸ்கஷனே எதுவுமே வரலையே. I have broken up, end of discussion. Matter over. And he said, I'm very upset. Let's do online shopping. He's sharing his screen. Both of us, he's in London now. He's sharing his screen. Both of us are doing shopping for his provisions. And in evening, he says, we have made up. So that's how simple your breakup and makeup is. So don't concentrate on all that. Focus on what you have to be. Similarly, don't give too much attention to what your peers are doing. Drinking, substance abuse, will your just for fun ஆரம்பிக்கிறோம். என் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் சொல்றாங்கிறதுக்காக ஒருதான். Cigarette smoking is the habit you can never ever give up. Mark my words, you can never stop smoking because எங்க வேணா நின்னு ஸ்மோக் பண்ண முடியும். பட் குடிக்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு இடம் தேடணும். You have to go find a place to sit. But cigarette is available everywhere. You can never stop it. And you know how much a cigarette costs? How much does it cost? Very super. They are talking about psychologists. How much does a cigarette cost? You might have bought it for your friend. So tell me. 18 rupees. And a person will smoke close to at least 2 a day, minimum 2 a day. So we leave it as 20, 40 rupees and 30 days. And let me remind you, 365 days. And with the condition, disclaimer or conditions apply to your father's money. Okay, and similarly drinking, it might be only for the company, but it takes up so much of your time that your focus will shift. Similarly, porn watching. India is the biggest market for biggest watchers of porn. But let me tell you something. இப்போ இந்த கோயம்புத்தூர் இன்சிடென்ட்டே எடுத்துக்கலாம். Where do you think this came from? Fear of losing myself ல தான் இதெல்லாம் வருது. Where do you think this comes from? Okay, you are all sitting together in organizing an event. சரியா? ஒரு event committee இருக்காங்க. You all sitting together. இதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணலாம்? புதுசா ஒரு மாதிரி பண்ணலாம். You are searching the internet and you will come up with brilliant ideas. But end of the day, one idea gets to be taken up and அந்த theme படி போறீங்க. மற்ற 2 idea நீங்க, for example, she searched an idea. It's really good. Next time she gets an opportunity to lead a committee, what do you think? Which idea would she implement? Her idea which she researched, right? So your human mind is a very curious mind. So when you see something very interesting, you keep it in mind for future what? Future usage. We are in a country where I can watch porn, but I can't store it in my mind for future usage. Can you just call one of your friends and say, I just saw something, yeah. You know what a kiss that is, come let me kiss you. Can you do that? Is that the community that we live in? So what would happen to all that I see? Yeah, it is in my head somewhere. And the first opportunity that presents itself, I will want to use it over there, and all sense of caution flies away. And caution irukadu because I'm drunk. My first filter when I drink, the first filter that goes away is குடிச்ச உடனே எனக்கு என்ன காணாம போகுது? டேய் எல்லாம் யோகி மட்டும் உட்காந்துருக்காதீங்க. My caution will be the first. அதனால தான் உளறுவோம், வாய்க்கு வந்ததெல்லாம் உளறுவோம். No, it doesn't mean that you're drunk. You're listening to a lot of drunk stories, that's all. So first thing is, அந்த cautionங்கிற filter காணாம போயிடும். ஃபோன் பண்ணி நம்ம போட்டு மொக்க போட்டு தள்ளிடுவாங்க. என்னாச்சு தெரியுமா, எனக்கு உனக்கு எவ்வளவு பிடிக்கும் தெரியுமா, எனக்கு அப்படி தெரியுமா, இப்படி தெரியுமா. Yeah. So caution flies away, and when I'm not cautious, என் மனசுக்குள்ள 1000 ஆசை இருக்கும். What is stopping you? இங்க இருக்க 4 பேருக்கு எந்திரிச்சு வெளியே போகணும்னு இருக்கும். But what is stopping you? What caution is stopping you? Two of them sitting here. But when I am drunk, do you think if you are drunk and sitting here, do you think you'll be worried about the two of them sitting there? No, you will not. So caution flies off, and all that is in my head will come out. That does not mean you are a bad person. It only means you are exposed to too much. இது எல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு அவைலபிளா இருக்க தான் போகுது. But moderation is the key. How much screen time I'm going to have? How much porn am I going to watch? And what happens? Porn like இன்னொன்று வந்து I'm sorry for talking about this with girls and boys here, but now it's all the same. The minute you have problems, your mind will want to seek pleasure. That's natural. அந்த காலத்துல என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா டென்ஷன் தாங்க முடியல, நம்ம கொடு. That was the only way of letting go of stress. But now it is masturbation. So it takes up so much of your time. First watch பண்றோம், அப்புறம் எக்ஸிக்யூட் பண்றோம், அப்புறம் திருப்பி வாட்ச் பண்றோம், வேலிடேஷன் சீக் பண்றோம், அத பத்தியே பேசணும் फ्रेंड्स கிட்ட. The only talk among boys is women and sexuality and looks and rating them and scoring them. Total bullshit. It's a total waste of time. So what am I going to see? What am I going to do with the information? It is totally up to you. So moderation. இவ்வளவுதான் ஸ்கிரீன் டைம். இதைத்தான் நான் பார்ப்பேன். இதுக்கு மேல உலகம் வந்து உங்களை we are the biggest population, youth population. உங்களை எப்படி ஸ்டாப் பண்ண முடியும்? உங்களை இப்படி டைவர்ட் பண்ணி unnecessary-ஆ வேஸ்ட் ஆக்கி தான் ஸ்டாப் பண்ண முடியும். ஒரு unfit population ஆக்கி தான் ஸ்டாப் பண்ண முடியும். So instead, focus on what you have to become, have a plan and work on your plan, avoid distractions. Alright? With a plan, anxiety will not happen. And failure is inevitable. But look at failure and see what you have learned from it and try to do. Avoid panni at the time where it pannalam. We still fail. It's not like all 3 of us here are not failing. We still fail. But what next? What next? Fail on, don't give up. Because problem solving வந்து இன்னைக்கு உங்க ஜெனரேஷனுக்கு ஸ்பீக்கிங் இங்கிலீஷ் இல்ல ஸ்பீக்கிங் ஜெர்மன் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்கில்லா சொல்லி கொடுக்குற ஒரு பேப்பரா போடுற அளவுக்கு ஆயிடுச்சு. நாங்களாம் சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து பெத்தாங்க, வளர்ந்தோம், நாங்களா வளர்ந்தோம். We don't know. My mom does not know what I did in standard 1. But now in my school, the school that I'm running, they know how many times the child breathed in school. So that was how you were raised. You are not allowed to solve problems. Now suddenly you have to solve problems. It's a skill. Cycle here only uppandu udane pedal appi ulama hotla. It's a skill that you learn. Similarly, problem solving is a skill that you should have learned from very young. But sad to say you didn't. So now don't give up. All right? What next in the yosikaaranga? I think I'm boring you. We'll take a short break right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah? We'll let them breathe. Attention span தாண்டி பேசிட்டு இருந்தாங்க.
11:35.
Children, a break of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 15 minutes. All right. common thing with anxiety is okay. So depression, please clear cut the difference between depression and anxiety disorder. That you read from Then there's stress related disorders. The other day we were, I don't know if we can talk about it, but then the other day my sister and I were discussing about the female case that they both the girl. About what do you think she would be going through among the three? What would be her state of mind, her lifelong, what would she be going through in this field? Yes, stress related disorders. There's something called PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. That is what our particular PTSD. See? PTSD. What happens? What do you think happens in PTSD? This term was coined after the Vietnam War. It was coined in the US. Initially, it was only depression and anxiety. But why did they give it the term PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder? Because you will relive the moment in the exact same details as it was happening to you then. Okay? இப்போ எனக்கு நடந்தா என்னென்ன நான் ஃபீல் பண்ணுவனோ அது எல்லாத்தையும் I relive it. That is PTSD. So we can talk about why was she there at that time, why should she be there, அது இருந்திருக்க கூடாது, பண்ணி இருக்க கூடாது. விமன்னா ஒரு பொம்பளை புள்ள அந்நேரத்துக்கு போய் இன்னைக்கு men women எல்லாம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது. But the affected party in this is the girl. She can never get over it. The fear. Alright, that is why we ask the girl children to have a little bit of caution. Because this is the age where you'll be impulsive. Impulsivity, brain developmentally is the age of the impulsivity. That is why teens and adults, and you all are between adulthood and teenagers. You are per se adults, but இன்னுமே அந்த impulsiveness தாண்டி வந்திருக்க மாட்டீங்க. ஏன்னா எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் 22 வயசு 16 வயசுல கல்யாணம் பண்ணாங்க, 18 வயசுல we had to grow up mature faster. We were not given the opportunity to be impulsive teenagers, but you all lived through all that without having responsibilities to take. இன்னும் நீங்க போஸ்ட் கிராஜுவேஷன் முடிச்சு ஒரு வேலையில உட்கார்ற வரைக்கும் உங்க பேரண்ட்ஸ் தான் உங்களை பார்த்துக்கிறாங்க. அது வரைக்கும் உங்களுக்கு மெச்சூரிட்டி வரவே போறது கிடையாது. But we all matured very early. That is what இப்போ எங்க அம்மா இருந்த டைம் கூட we had a little more time to be teenagers. In the time கூட my children we all have a little bit more time. So the age of becoming mature adults is becoming higher and higher. So நீங்க by 30 you will become mature enough to run a household. That is when you will settle. வாழ்க்கைனா என்னன்னு புரியும். பட் அது வரைக்கும் அந்த impulsivity-ய கொஞ்சம் caution-ஓட explore பண்ணுங்க. Because PTSD is horrible. Imagine her being raped every time she closes her eyes. It's horrible. Alright? So that is stress-related disorder. It is treatable, but I don't know how far it is possible. It is a big hike. It's an uphill road. Okay? Physically, she will heal, but mentally, it is going to be very, very difficult to heal. If you are mentally not healed, your life. இப்போ இந்த சிச்சுவேஷன்ல இப்படி சந்தோஷமா பேசக்கூடிய வாழ்க்கை உணர்றது நம்ம வந்து quality of life will go away. That's what I was looking for. All right. So that is what stress-related disorders are. All right. Shall we look at what your problems you all have written down, or shall we look at another slide and go to your problems? One more slide, then we finish the common disorders. Then I have placed only these because of its relevance to you all. Alright, substance use disorder. Initially, substance use will be because of peer pressure, will be because of wanting to fit in. Because of how the media or whatever is promoting it. So இதுக்காக நம்ம only to fit in, நம்ம uniqueness we use பண்ணி only to want to belong somewhere because we are social beings. We want to belong to some group. So on the group fit in ஆகிறதுக்காக we will learn something. But remember, a habit is very difficult to give up. இன்னைக்கு ஃபண்டுக்காக ஒரு quarter அப்படின்னா the age as you mature, your threshold becomes higher and higher and higher, and by the time you reach your 30s, mid 30s or 40s, you're ending up damaging your liver. Have you heard of liver sclerosis? It is starting, it is having a very early onset. All right? So, joke-kaga, fun-kaga, recreational drugs, எந்த விதமான drugs ஆ இருந்தாலும், it alters your mind. So, it is very difficult to give up a habit that alters your mind. Okay? So, don't do it. சிலது செய்யக்கூட தீ சுடும் அப்படின்னா நான் தொட்டுட்டு வந்தா என் ஃப்ரெண்ட் என்னை பயங்கரமா பாப்பாங்கிறதுக்காக உன் மேல கெரோசின் ஊத்தி பத்த வச்சுக்குவியா? Bad is bad. So wrong is wrong. So don't do it. கத்துக்கிட்டு அப்புறம் நான் விட்டுறேங்கிறது it is. Have you ever seen anybody who's given up on it? So starting a habit very early has serious repercussions. So substance abuse in any form. It's just what they that was 10 years back when I was doing sessions in Kobat. So there's a lot of drugs available in the market. Lot of drugs. As a joke, the other day we were talking about a politically based report, Trump and all his policies that are coming into, he's threatening us with all his policies. You people as management students, you all must be knowing. About somebody joked saying, Mexico only has to say, I will not supply you with drugs and America is over. It was a joke. Alright? But that's how addictive it is. You can finish a whole nation because of it. And it is very prevalent in our community here right now. நாம் என்னமோ சேஃபாக பண்ணிட்டு உட்காந்துருக்கோம் ஈரோடு அப்படிங்கிறதுலாம் கிடையாது. It's everywhere. So எல்லாமே அவைலபிளாக இருக்கு. அதில் நீங்கள் உங்களையே எப்படி பாதுகாத்துக்க போறீங்கிறது உங்க மனசுல தான் இருக்கு. Learn to say no. அவன் என்ன நினைப்பான், அவன் என்ன, you have clear boundaries. These are things I will do, these are things I will not do, and stand by it no matter what anybody says, because உனக்குள்ள உன்னோட inner judgment, you clearly say no, don't do this. இதை நான் வீட்டில் போய் அப்பா அம்மாட்ட சொல்லலாமா, ஐயோ அப்படின்னா it's a clear no. நீ போய் சொல்லல நான் சொல்லல அப்படி நீ நினைச்சினாவே உன் வளர்ப்புக்கும் அதுக்கும் சம்பந்தமே இல்லை, அதை உன்னால செய்ய முடியாது. So don't do it. Learn to say no. That is the highest maturity. My sister will ask me, have you learned to say no? No. I'm saying no that way.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay, self-harm and suicidal behavior. Please read that. All this is not attention-seeking behavior. It is in your mind. It is making you do these things. Don't harm yourself. எனக்கு கட் பண்ணிட்டு எனக்கு அந்த வலி என்னை சமாதானப்படுத்துது அப்படின்னா then you fall into a personality disorder. Learn to talk about it. Learn to seek help. இன்னைக்கு கவுன்சிலர்ஸ், எங்க டைம்ல கவுன்சிலர்ஸ்னா யாருமே தெரியாது. என்னை படிக்க வைக்கவே மாட்டேங்கிறாரு எங்க அப்பா. நீ இன்டீரியர் டிசைன் படி, சைக்காலஜி படிக்காது, நீ முதல்ல 6 முக்கால் ஆயிடுவீங்க. But then we didn't have so many people around us. But now you all have people that you all can talk to. There are free helplines around. Even your teachers, professors and lecturers are able to help you talk about it. Learn to talk. Alright? உங்களோட உலகம் எங்களுக்கு புரியாதுன்னு நினைக்காதீங்க, புரியாதுதான். பட் எங்களோட அனுபவத்துல ஹெல்ப் பண்ண முடியும், அவ்வளவுதான். We really don't understand your world because you yourself don't understand your world. Alright, but just use us as a guiding force or a hand to hold, that is all. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but at least I can hold your hand while you're going through that. Alright? Okay. And now we look at the chips. This is the bag. I want all of you to pick up one. It will not be yours. Alright, if you have yours, throw it into the bag immediately and take another one. And I'll tell you what we need to do with that. Yeah? Next slide, please. Okay, shall we look at suicide? I open it in my phone. the latest statistics on suicides, alright? Okay, every year how many people die of suicides in India? What about Shitler? 1.7 lakh people die of suicides, and India is a country that does not report every suicide. Okay, so the reported suicides is 1.7 lakh. Here it is not reported because it was considered a crime, but now it is considered a mental health issue. Okay, so in that 470 people die every day. How many die every day? As we are seated here, there is somebody committing suicide. 470 people die of suicide. It is a huge issue. It's bigger than what we can imagine. This one only reported. More than double will not be reported. Okay? So what are the main reasons? Your very own family, your relationships, health issues, finance, and not having a job. Alright? Okay, who are most at risk? Daily laborers, and that is what I want you all to look at. Young adults, most at risk. You'll be surprised at how many students die every day. Okay? The next slide. 7.6% of the entire population in India. Now we'll bring it down to Tamil Nadu. We stand one among the 3 states in India. We are the topmost among the 3 states in India. Okay, that is why Tamil Nadu government is taking so much steps to address this issue, because our list is becoming bigger and we are going higher on the statistics. All right. So 50 people, about 99,000 people die in suicide in Tamil Nadu alone. Then we have 50 people every day in our state. Other like ever students in Parliament. Students in Kanyakumari. Okay, go to the next slide. We have only the students. Out of that, it is 13,044 students. So, irukkarale naama da winners. Kai therikalama? So, 36 students every day lose their lives only in Tamil Nadu. It is a very serious issue. These population it's a failure in the system for not being able to support the child. Alright, that is why my sister dragged me here. She said, you have to talk about this. Because we are doing a helpline in Erode. And she said, you have to talk about this. My children need help. She initially gave 3 or 4 boys number to talk to me. Only one called me and spoke to me. She was really scared that this is becoming bad and she wanted it addressed. Alright? So these are the statistics, and it is very true. Suicides are happening everywhere. And 36 a day only in Tamil Nadu is high. So what are the reasons? Next slide, please. Okay, what are the reasons now? On the slide. Is there anything else beyond that? If there's anything beyond that, please help me add to it. Where other than that? I'm only on the slide above. That's okay. Substance abuse, yes, we take that also. Substance abuse, peer pressure. Illa your inability to adjust with life, which then that itself becomes stress or depression. Alright? Is there anything else to add to that? We'll stop with the slides. So we'll finish the chits, then we'll come back over here. If there's anything else, please let me know. Have all of you got your chits? Okay, now I want you to read it and tell me how, if this was your problem, how would you address it? A hand mic to them, please. If this was your problem, how will you be addressing it? And I will tell you if that is the right way or the wrong way, or are there different ways of it. Yeah. No, whoever's ready can answer. Who's ready to answer that? Okay. Please take that. Read the question and give me how you would handle it. Can I have your attention, please, children? Okay.
Feeling anxiety during public speaking, how to overcome. So, while, especially here she mentioned during presentation.
Okay.
So, while you having a presentation.
What made you think it's a she?
Or
Okay. All right.
so, if I am struggling with this problem, I do prior practice while making a PPT. I will have a notebook and I will make a clear points which I am going to talk. So by practicing it, it will be helpful to overcome the fear. It will feel you to make confidence. And so when you come to friends by holding a mic or facing an audience, just look at some of your friends so that they will not bully you or it gives
Okay.
you.
Familiar face. You want you to concentrate on a familiar face so that you can it will give you the confidence to go further. All right. Fine.
So
Okay.
I'll handle it.
Good. Good. Okay. Another help. Good. That was good. What I would do is, what I would suggest is take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. It will settle the butterflies in your stomach. What happens is your central nervous system, we are still hunters, okay? Human beings, initially we started by hunting, right? Our central nervous system is still wired the same way. If a tiger walks into the room now, what do you think I would do? Super, what color combinations? Will I be doing that? My sister's here, so I will scream, burn me, so that she saves herself and I will climb up the nearest table. Yeah, because I can't run out of the room. What happened there? So we call this the fight or flight mode. Okay, what happens is your central nervous system will send a signal to your mind saying, "Abathil." Either you fight it or run away from it. So quick decision will be made. I can't fight the tiger, so I'm going to run away. Okay, what I will do is I'll pull him and keep him in front of me so that the tiger eats him and not me, and I will be on the table. Okay. So what has happened here? நான் நின்று சூப்பரா இருக்கிறடா டாக்டர் ஜூலுக்கு வந்தே காட்டுல இருந்து வந்தியா அப்படின்னு ஏதாவது நான் யோசிப்பேனா யோசிக்கும் திறன் சுத்தமா நிறுத்திடும் ஏன்னா யோசிச்சோம்னா என்ன ஆயிரும் we will end up dying. Humans are a species that have survived so much. Why do you think we have survived so much? Dinosaurs la காணாம போச்சு நாம என்ன காணாம போகாம இருக்கோம் because of our fight or flight reaction. So your mind will not allow you to think. So what you have to do is presentation varappo onnu illa saama podudha. When you breathe in, breathe out, you relax your tell your central nervous system it is okay, you're not going to die now. It's only a presentation. Breathe, breathe. Only then நீ படிச்சது ஞாபகம் வந்துரும். இல்லனா the shutter will be down. No matter what, you cannot open the shutter. And you cannot remember, you come here, you would have prepared so much, you will come here ending up doing nothing. So first thing is breathe. Alright? Second thing is talk nonsense. In the sense, easier ஒரு விஷயம். நான் வந்தோடனே எதை வச்சு ஆரம்பிச்சேன்? I took up one of man's quote. Man first பேசினாங்கல்ல? Yes, because I was just composing myself to assist my audience and இதை நான் எப்படி ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி என் பாயிண்ட்ஸ் எனக்கு வர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி எனக்கு காமனான ஒரு விஷயம் யாரோ அவங்க பேசினதுல நான் எடுத்துக்கிட்ட விஷயம் அது எனக்கு அந்த மினிட்ல அதுதான் ஞாபகம் வரும் ஸோ ஓகே ஃபைன் ஐ யூஸ் திஸ் as a ஓப்பனர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அதை சொன்னதுக்கு அப்புறம் என் மைண்ட் இது புரியும் இல்லை சிக்கணும் இல்லை இதை சமாளிக்க முடியும் இதை சொன்னதுக்கு எல்லாரும் சிரிச்சாங்க அதனால சமாளிச்சுக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு எனக்கு ஒரு ஐ கெட் த கான்ஃபிடன்ஸ் டு கோ ஃபார்வர்ட். Alright, that is how you start. And like you said, look at the person who will not distract you. After you start, it's only starting from 5 or 10 minutes into it, your inhibitions will go away. So after you start, it will all go away. Then you feel the confidence to look around the room. It is a skill like cycling or swimming. Palaga, palaga. எல்லாம் சரியா போகும். பழகிறதுக்கே பயந்தா பேசவே முடியாது. You also spoke about public speaking. All right. Next question, please. All right, whoever wrote that, I hope that answers your question. Is anybody else ready? Quickly, we need to do this by 1 o'clock. மைக்கு போய்கிட்டே இருந்து வந்தே பாரதோட வேகமா போகுது மைக்கு. எங்கேயோ நோட்ல இறங்கி பாருங்க. You all by now should have the guts to talk. You are going to go into the world in another year. Never miss an opportunity. When the mic comes to you, take it and speak. Yeah.
So I am bringing you one nature, but due to that, I feel mostly alone during my UG days. I'm trying my best to open up and make friends. I feel happy, but I still avoid in the crowd. I feel alone sometimes.
All right.
I don't feel alone. Okay? Everybody is there around you.
It's easy for an extrovert to say that. பேச முடியலையா? ஏன் பேச முடியல அப்படின்னு தோணல உனக்கு? Yeah.
You think yourself to be an introvert, but you are not. You are more intellectual person.
Ooh. All right.
I never feel doubt because of that. Even I feel alone at times. It is in ourselves to encourage and motivate ourselves and to come out of it.
All right, good. Never seek validation outside in this Instagram world. My son, when he's scrolling through the Instagram, your generation, how many likes do you give for a video? Ella like. யாருடா இது? யாருக்கு கூட தெரியாது, நீ பாட்டுக்கு லைக் போடுற. ஏமா என்ஜாய் பண்ணீங்களா? லைக் போடுங்க. லைக்கோட வேல்யூ என்னன்னு உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா? லைக்ல என்னடா வேல்யூ? I am posting a video, there is no need for somebody to like it. I can see how many people have seen it. What is the need for like? Don't look. They are a generation who seek validation outside. You know what? நாங்க எதெல்லாம் வெளியே பேசக்கூடாதுன்னு எங்களுக்கு வீட்டு சொல்லி வளர்த்தாமோ அது everything is on Instagram. It's surprising to see everything on Instagram. Don't seek validation outside. It is you who have to validate yourself. Loneliness, சொன்னீங்க இல்லையா? No matter if you have a room full of sitting in a wedding hall, you can feel extremely lonely because you don't like yourself. That is where loneliness is coming from. Validate yourself. உலகமே உங்களுக்கு லைக் போட்டாலும் if you don't validate yourself, you will end up being lonely. And wanting to talk, there's a funny, one of my cousins, he came from the UK, and when we told him, see, he's a psychologist, and we told him the first thing you need to learn is learn to talk to people. ஒரு nerd மாதிரியே UKல சுத்துற மாதிரி ஒரு nerd ஆட்ட, don't walk around being a nerd. Learn to talk to people. The first thing you will do is you will greet the receptionist as soon as you come in. All right? And we did go greet the receptionist. You know what he did? He said, "Good morning, Akka." And that girl was surprised because he walks into the room and he will not even pause at the reception. He stopped to say, "Akka, good morning." We were standing there watching to see what he was going to do. And he said, "Do you like pets?" That girl is working for a salary of 10,000 rupees. All right? And she was surprised by, okay, fine, even you can have a stray dog at home. She said, "Illik, sir." And he said, "Why? Choose a good pedigree. I will suggest something for you. How about a Labrador?" That girl didn't even know where he was coming from. இந்த சார் பேசவே மாட்டாரு, இன்னைக்கு எதுக்கு என்கிட்ட நாய் இருக்குதா இல்லையா பேசுறாரு, இப்போ என்கிட்ட நாய் இருந்தா நான் வேலைக்கு இருக்கலாமா, நாய் இல்லைன்னா நான் வேலைக்கு இருக்கலாமா? She was confused. And நீங்க நான் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு லிஸ்ட் தரேன், அதுல எந்த நாய் வேணுமோ அதை சொல்லுங்க, நீ அவன் வாங்கி தர போறானா? அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. He was only trying to make small talk. And when he walked in, I said, "What was the purpose of the conversation? You just made a conversation. What was the purpose of it?" I was trying to be nice to her. I was asking her if she has a pet, being nice. Oh, was that not nice to you? Then how should I go about it? I don't know, you find your way. We made him do it. Now he's learned to say, "Hello, how are you?" All it took was, "How are you? How was your day? What did you have for breakfast?" These are small talks. Always start by appreciating something. "Oh, you look nice today." That will make them fly. After that, whatever nonsense you talk, they will not register. So, learning small talk is also a skill. Alright? You learn, you make somebody feel nice, they will love you. But genuinely appreciate somebody. Don't go questioning them about their choice of dress or their choice of pets, that will always make them guarded. Appreciate. Alright, give them a like. That's our next question, please. Alright, next question. I need to do all the questions, so please be quick. Otherwise, I'll be standing here, you will be sitting here. Good afternoon. And the mic is not loud enough. It's on. Okay. Not discussing things. Yeah. By not talking with anyone, you mean not being able to discuss your thoughts with people. Yeah, okay.
Not having a good conversation with people, that's me and my mom sitting alone at home and watching.
She watching serials and you watching Instagram? Yeah.
On the day I told you, I was surprised that the screen time was over about 10 hours. And after that, I realized it was the issue.
Why do you think you prefer scrolling? Why do you think you, it's for all of you, he passed a good comment. Why do you think you like scrolling?
I don't know.
It stops you from thinking. It stops you from thinking and you feel good because you are able to stay on the constant மண்டையில இருக்கிற நச்சு இல்லாம உன்னால இருக்க முடியுதுங்கிறது உனக்கு பிடிக்கும். It's addictive.
Yeah, and it was a short span of time. We are not watching not even a good movie. We don't have the like what is it? அந்த அளவுக்கு கூட பொறுமை இல்லாத அளவுக்கு இருக்கு. So it was just a short span of time, about 30 seconds or 60 seconds. We just scroll and
Yeah, because the attention span has gone down.
yeah, we also got thinking about it. Like having a business company and doing that.
Yes, we will be looking at that also. Good. Only 1% of a person's life is posted on Instagram. 24/7, everybody can't be polished, slim, fit, and having good nails, good hair, good body. That does not happen. Okay? That is why I said moderation. Okay.
After that, I came here. Personally, I consider
All right, good. I'm happy for you. Good, good. So, about overthinking, how many of you, please put up your hands, how many of you overthink? Please turn around and look at the hands in the room. So, it's very, very common. All right? So, how do you stop this? Thank you. How do you stop this? No, you can't. The only thing you can't silence is your head. Alright? So what can you do? Okay, what am I thinking about? Alright? Okay, fear of losing my loved ones. Okay, situation. I'm constantly in that state of fear. I'm just taking that as an example. So what can I do about it? I will do, can I control this? If yes, what are the things I can do to control it? If no, I should let it go. Learn to write it down. You have to learn, children listen. Writing a journal is a very important part of growing up. When you start writing your thoughts before going to bed, it is not like cinema or a diary, 4 years, when you take a pen, you cream water, then I brush my teeth, all that you write. Anything that comes to your mind, anything that pops up in your mind, you write. Close the diary, go back. Close your journal, go to sleep. When you keep doing that, what happens is, Amma podachu paathirukkeenga, morathula potu podachu paathirukkeenga, what flies away? The dust. Idella the face cream potuna, brush pannana, idella dust. After all the dust flies away, what you need, what you have to address will be in the moram there. And okay, இதுதான் fluff எப்பயுமே cover பண்ணிடும். Original problem என்னங்கிறது நம்ம mind வந்து subconscious what will try to do is it will try to protect you. So it will hide what is the original issue, and it will only give the pressure from the original issue will be keep coming out. So if you start writing, all the fluff will fly away, and you have the original underlying issue there. That issue you would write about, what can I do about it? If this is within my control, how do I control it? Remember me being the CM, that is what you will do about it. And it becomes, or pizza, onna saapra mudiyadhu, you are only going to slice it and eat. It becomes very doable. Alright? So if any of you have had the overthinking paper with you, please don't read it. Any other issue? Am I making sense to you? Alright. Do you want to go further with this reading, or do we go with the slide? You are going to escape from this. I will answer a few more questions. Something that is very different, anybody who has something that is very different and you think this has to be addressed? I spoke about habits, I spoke about overthinking, I spoke about public speaking. Besides this, emotional attachment. Okay, is there a question there? About what is the question? How do you think you can handle it? தெரியலையா அதுதான் எனக்கே தெரியல எனக்கே அதுதான் have confidence in yourself, children. Don't stick on to someone for your support. Alright? There are certain things that you are good at. Make a list. I will keep saying write again and again because ஒரு விஷயத்தை எழுதி அதுக்கு கண்டுபிடிக்கிறது is easy. எழுதாம இப்போ I want to make a decision, what I will do is I will give myself 1 week's time and I will write everything that comes to my mind on that paper. Because ஒரு நாள் ஒன்று தோணும், இன்னொரு நாள் இன்னொன்று மறந்து போயிடும், இன்னொரு நாள் இன்னொன்று write. Then you look at it, sit down and decide. Okay? Similarly, emotional attachment. Learn to understand your strength and weakness. I am good at this, I am weak at this. So if I am good at it, take pride in being, because we all are good at something. I have a friend who finds the number, இது ஒரு பிளே ஸ்கூல் பண்ணலாமா அப்படின்னு சொன்னா ஆமா ஒரு குழந்தை வந்துடும் அப்புறம் அவங்க சளி வந்துடும் அவங்க அம்மா சண்டை போடுவா அப்புறம் நீ சாப்பிட்டது ஏதோ சேரும் அது அதுக்கு அவங்க அம்மா she gave me a shitload of what you should not do, why you fail, but that's her strength. She can look at all the flaws. So நீ எதுவுமே தப்பான ஸ்கில் கிடையாது. Look at everything as a strength. If I ask you all, what are your weakness? தடப்பட எல்லாம் சொல்லி முடிச்சுடுவீங்க. But what are your strengths? அப்படின்னா you will sit and think because we live in a society that points our negatives faster to us. But take pride in your positives. That minute you will feel emotionally stronger. You will not need the support of anybody. Take pride in who you are. You are an amazing person by yourself. நான் வெயிட்டனம்லாம் பேசல, சீரியஸா சொல்றேன். You are unique as an individual. You have certain strength and weakness that the other person does not have. So ஒரு இடத்துல I can learn something, you can learn something, together we will grow. எனக்கு ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல, படபடன்னு பேசுறவங்க, சூப்பரா ட்ரெஸ் பண்ணிக்கிறாங்க, பாத்திரத்துல அப்பாடான்னு இருக்காங்க, அடே கப்பான்னு இருக்காங்க, இவங்க எல்லாம் தான் சூப்பர் கிடையாது. All of you are unique as individuals. All of you have something in you that the other person does not. So first see what that is. When you're working in a group, look at what can I contribute in this. Because you definitely will have something to contribute. Must be another person who is more talkative, who is more verbose, will have a lot more to say. And you're not able to say a lot of things. You can do it and show. Alright? So when you're confident, you don't need another person for emotional support. Give yourself a lot of thumbs up and likes. Like panna, subscribe panna, do it for yourself. Next question. Faster. How did they write this question? Alright, post-traumatic stress disorder is a psychiatric condition. It will need medication. When you are given medication, there are some medications called mood stabilizers. When you are given those medications, it will lower your reactivity. நம்மளை ஃபீல் பண்ணவே விடாது, நம்ம மனசை வந்து கீழே நீங்க பார்த்துப்பீங்க psychiatric drugs போட்டவங்க அப்படி இருப்பாங்க. Have you seen people with, you can see and the cognitive capacity, யோசிக்கும் திறனை குறைச்சிட்டு வந்துற மாதிரி. So when that comes down, we will sit with them, psychologists will sit with them and we will show them ways of how to handle the situation. It's therapy. That is what therapy is about. Because when it comes back to you in the future, you should have the skill set to come to handle it. That is what psychology is all about. Even for depression or anxiety, we will teach you skill sets. We will not give you solutions. We will only teach you skill sets, and the next time this happens in your life, you will know how to handle it. Yeah. So PTSD is a psychiatric condition. Somebody spoke about schizophrenia. Do any of you know what schizophrenia is? Schizophrenia is a condition where இப்போ ஃபேன் லைட் இருக்கா ஒரு லைட் வேலை செய்யல அப்படின்னா நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம் எலக்ட்ரிஷியன் வர சொல்லி அந்த லைட்டை ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணுவோம் சரி எலக்ட்ரிஷியன் அந்த லைட்டை ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணி போனா இந்த ஃபேன் நின்று போயிடும் சரி இந்த ஃபேனை ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணலாம்னா இன்னொரு ஃபேன் நின்று போயிடும் இப்படி நீ ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ண போனா எங்கேயோ ஒன்று ரிப்பேர் வந்துட்டே இருக்கும் there's something that basically goes wrong with your brain circuit so what happens is they will start hearing voices as clear as you can hear me now they can hear voices. That is what we call auditory hallucination. Alright? Teliva kekum. And initially it is always persecutory. Wow, வெளிவானே போடுறேன். Have you seen road colored நடிப்பாங்க? Mentally ill people colored. Because they are fighting an inner voice. They can hear it as clearly as you can hear me. Then next is visual hallucination. They can see a figure as clearly as you can see each other next to you. Teliva kekum. That is auditory. Then we have olfactory. நாக்குல ஒரு டேஸ்ட் நம்ம துப்பிக்கிட்டே இருப்பாங்க சில ஸ்டைல ஊற வரும் சொல்லிக்கிட்டே இருப்பாங்க olfactory இல்ல you can feel it touching your olfactory you get a bad smell alright so there are different types of hallucinations and schizophrenia starts between the age of 18 to 24 it is episodic it will come சில பேருக்கு episodic சில பேருக்கு அப்படியே இருக்கும் so if you see if somebody feels that they can hear voices or something like that they have to have a psychiatric consult. It is not curable, but it can be put in control, like a diabetic patient or blood pressure, lifelong medication, but it can be controlled. All right. So this is what schizophrenia is about. And there's another thing called delusion. Delulu. He's delulu. What is that? Yeah, that's whatever. I don't know your language. Delusion. What is a delusion actually? Why do you call a person delusional? No. That is hallucination. Delusional is you have a unshakable belief. என் பக்கத்துல இவன் என்னை பத்தி ஏதோ பிளாட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கான் அவன் உங்களை யாரும் கூட தெரியாது நீ என்ன ரீசன் சொன்னாலும் ஒத்துக்கவே மாட்டேன் அவன் ஏதோ என்னை பத்தி யோசிக்கிறான் plot பண்றான் it's a firm unshakable belief that is delusional இதெல்லாம் is a form of part of schizophrenia someone spoke about OCD is an obsessive compulsive disorder there is an obsession ஒரு thought அந்த thoughtக்கு there is a compulsion நான் இத பண்ணுனா இந்த thought நிக்கும் so what they will do is I had a child I'm talking to you all this strictly it is unofficial but then I have to tell you during the COVID I don't know when there was this kid from class 3 who watched a porn video I know I'm coming back to this but I just want to show you the impact of media on your life she watched a porn and in class 6 when she was in class 6 when she's a very well performing child she was the topper in her class such a small kid she could feel whoever the teacher was coming to her class she was undressing them and whoever the boy who was sitting next to her she feels she was doing the act with the boy she just couldn't study imagine a 6th standard child so this is obsessive பார்க்கறவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் OCD வரும்னு சொல்லல since she's anxiety prone this became an obsessive thought so இந்த thought stop பண்ணனும்னா I should hurt myself ஏன்னா அப்ப என் பெயின்ல நான் கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்றேன் இந்த தாட் போயிடும் and the child kept hurting herself so to stop this obsession there is a compulsion so this is OCD and the thought அவனால நிறுத்தவே முடியாது it will keep coming to them and it will keep coming to them they just a person locks his door and he goes to his office and he believes that he has locked it He will come back, even if he's gone to Chennai, he will come back, catch a train from Chennai, come back and check the block. Alright? So that is how debilitating OCD is. This is also very common at your age. Alright? Then what was the other disorder you spoke about? These are all anxiety related disorders. Okay, stress and ordinate. ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ medicine ಬೇಕು. Okay? Any other questions? I think I'm boring people. We need to stop. 2 more questions, we'll stop.
How to handle a friend who's newly committed and he's a mental issue? How to handle a friend who's newly committed?
I know. Bloody hell, they will fall in love. Ella sandasham avukku ana podammi pesi. They will keep talking about it, and all your time is wasted. Yeah? I can understand that and I can speak about it. It's such a pain to be around these people, and please pray that he does not break up, then you go mad. Next question, please. Your question? Yeah. Okay, finance, what can you do now? Can you take up another job? What can you do about it? If you have your parents and they are the reason for it, allow them to handle it. But if you want to take responsibility for it, please think of what you can do. This is the problem that I'm talking about. I cannot do anything about it, leave it. If I can do anything about it, what can I do about it? Think பண்ணிட்டே இருக்காத. Action. Show it in action. Take up a job. First, ஏதோ ஒன்று start பண்ண. Then you will find the way. Like I told you about the traffic. It looks impossible, but when you start moving, your roads will keep opening and you will get there. But you need to have a plan and you need to execute it. Alright? Then? Namadan trust issue பத்தி யாரோ அந்த சைடுல தான் பேசினாங்களே. Kana, you will get hurt. It's better to love and lose than to never love. Alright? You will get hurt. That is a part of growing up. You can't protect your heart from being hurt. You will fall in love, you will hurt, you will be hurt. What have you learned from it is what is important. Don't keep repeating the same mistake again and again. You have to open yourself up for experiences, but within your boundaries. Alright? You should be sure that you are in control. You should be sure that you can say no. Be mature in what you're doing. Okay? Anything else?
My name is Hari Krishna. I have a note that being on 1 hour and 30 minutes class, we can't be able to listen and understand. So please change the house in 1 hour. But I have a question. We have a 1.5 hour class now, but we need at least 1 hour 20 minutes lunch time also. It's not giving to us. In that 1 hour, we have sometimes we are going to canteen. There will be
I already have answered. Answer something.
also on the 1 hour 30 minutes class, concentration process.
Okay, I will tell you. No. He only wrote that, is it? Or he would have a different shit and he's talking about his problem. Alright, and I can understand what you're saying, but I was talking about my son who was in the UK. He did his post-graduation in 1 year. Okay? So 1 year course, 2 year course, when they're cramming it into 1 year, imagine the amount of work they will do. Yeah? So it is time, you have come to a time in your life now where you have to be more focused about where you're going to go. First year students are here, you still are basically undergraduate students, that is why this question is coming from. But you have to learn to focus on the playful years and not it is over. Now you have to look at where you're going to go with life. Alright? When you have more focus, because everybody laughed at it, have you heard of slapstick comedy? You heard of slapstick comedy? No, I'll get after I finish, I'll call you again. What would you do? Why did you laugh? The person could be her. But எல்லாருமே யூனிஃபார்மா லாப்னு சொன்னீங்க. Why? நான் உழுகல. It is danger came this close and it went another way. So that relief makes you laugh. Alright, similarly when you said that about the class, the entire class laughed because they can see sense in it. Okay, so hurry. Yes, 1.5 hours is boring, and I also made sure because they asked me to do a 3-hour session. So I'm jumping from here to there when I see 2 people yawning or see the energy in the room going down. Then I started reading the chits. Then I went back to schizophrenia because I knew it would be interesting for you all. Then I will come back to the content in hand. That is how I can manage it because attention span is your age plus 5 minutes. அவ்வளவுதான் ஒரு மனுஷனோட attention span. Yes, 1.5 hours of lecture is too much. But then உன்னை post graduation 3 வருஷம் பண்ண வைக்க முடியாது. So post graduation 2 வருஷத்துல இல்லாட்டி உன் வாழ்க்கையே மனிதன் உருவாக்குன இந்த வாழ்க்கையை வாழ்றதுக்கு மனுஷன் 25 வருஷம் படிக்க வேண்டியதா இருக்கு. இந்த உலகத்துல நாம உருவாக்குன இந்த சமுதாயத்துக்குள்ள நாம சர்வைவ் ஆகிறதுக்கு நம்ம 25 வருஷம் படிக்க வேண்டியதா இருக்கு. அது 26 27 வருஷம் ஆயிரக்கூடாதுங்கிறதுக்காக it's vast is being pushed into a very shorter span so that you can finish and go out into the world. So everybody is helpless, but everybody knows it is impossible. Does that answer your question? Yeah? பண்ண முடியாது. It's impossible. That is why you have to break it. That is why I gave you a break of 15 minutes. It is impossible. But everybody is fallen into a trap of a structure. Everybody is helpless. உனக்கே அவ்வளவு போர் அடிக்குது. நான் நின்று பேசுற வாக்கியாரை யோசிச்சு பாரு. 1.5 மணி நேரம் எவ்வளவு கவனிக்கி தெரிஞ்சு பேசணும். அதுக்கு எவ்வளவு தைரியம் வேணும். Yeah? Okay, shall we go to the next question? Is it recording what I'm talking? Holy shit. Okay. Live. Okay. All right. Yes. Get. Honestly, முடிக்கணும். நான் அண்டர் கிராஜுவேஷன் படிச்சப்ப ஸ்கிசோஃப்ரெனியா எல்லாம் வந்து இதெல்லாம் எங்க பார்க்க போறோம். When I sat in the clinic one day I saw 16 schizophrenia patients at a stretch. I was like, oh my god, this is real. Those are fancy words. And I thought somebody who any OCD but those are OCD traits. Like I told you initially in the beginning, என்னோட ஃபங்க்ஷனிங்கே எது ஸ்டாப் பண்ணுதோ அதுதான் மென்டல் ஹெல்த். இப்போ என்னால வீட்டை சுத்தம் பண்றதை விட்டுட்டு வெளியே வரவே முடியல அப்படின்னா that is OCD. பட் என்னால வீட்டையும் சுத்தமா வச்சுக்க முடியும், வெளியே என்னால வந்து பேச முடியும். இட்ஸ் ஒன்லி a trait in OCD. OCDக்கு வந்து 6 symptom ICD கொடுத்திருந்தாங்க. அதுல 5 ஃபுல்ஃபில் ஆச்சுன்னா அப்பதான் நீ OCD. அதுல 1 2 இருந்தா நீ OCD இல்ல. சும்மா fancy terms. Like you said, they are just fancy terms used. நீ OCD தாராளமா யூஸ் பண்றாங்க. That is why I said what OCD is. அது உங்களுடைய இன்ஸ்டாகிராம் மாதிரி அவ்வளோ பர்ஃபெக்ட்டா இருக்கு அவங்க லைஃப் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு இவ்வளோலாம் இருக்குமா? இட் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் அதான் எல்லாத்தையுமே மிகைப்படுத்துற உலகம் ஆயிடுச்சு இப்போ. ஏன்னா ஓசிடினா எனக்கு தெரியாததுனால அவங்க அதை சொல்லிருக்காங்க. Alright? Okay. Next question. Shall we wind up with this then? Is there any serious issues that you haven't had? Anybody else? Something that you believe need an answer? Can I pass to overcome பண்ணி வர முடியாது. ஏன்னா உங்க ஈகோ அங்க தாறுமாறா கிழிஞ்சு போயிருக்கும். சரியா? It is not the pain. It is என்ன எப்படி? Why do they do this to me? So from that, forgive your ego. All right? Forgive the person, not because நீ forgive பண்ணி அவனை நீ கோபமா இருந்தாலும் அவங்களுக்கு ஒன்றும் ஆக போறதில்லை, நீ forgive பண்றதுனால அவங்களுக்கு ஒன்றும் ஆக போறதில்லை. But forgiving the person helps you move past that. All right? And learn from whatever happened. I keep telling you, whatever, wherever you slipped, learn from it and don't slip again. That is the lesson that incident should teach you. அதை வச்சுட்டு கோவப்பட்டு இருக்கிறது கையாளாத தான். அதை வச்சுட்டு இது இனிமேல் நடக்காம பார்த்துக்கிறது தான் புத்திசாலித்தனம். Okay? All right. Now, is that it? Anything else? Okay, we'll quickly finish off. Academic pressure, like I said, hey. Okay, sir. Record well ஆகுது, அதனால டெய்லி கட் பண்ணிடுறேன். Next. Series. நீங்க சீரியஸான ஆளுக்கு பார்த்தாலே தெரியும். Okay, how இது இத்தனை நேரம் இந்த கொஸ்டின் கையில் வச்சுட்டு நீ how do I survive in a toxic environment? Get out. Parenting. ஆனா parenting toxic ன்னு நீங்க எதை சொல்றீங்கன்னு எனக்கு புரியல. What sort of parenting and toxic ன்னு எனக்கு சொல்றீங்கன்னு எனக்கு புரியல. Whoever wrote that, can you be more specific about it? By toxic parenting, see, toxic over caring இருக்காங்கங்கிறது toxic ன்னு சொல்றீங்களா? இல்ல அவங்களுடைய சதா அவங்க ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் உங்க மேல திணிக்கிறத நீங்க டாக்ஸிக் ன்னு ஃபீல் பண்றீங்களா? I don't know where you're coming from with toxic. It's a very generalized term, but toxic usually is உன்னோட thinking pattern உனக்கு இல்லாம you are starting to think like that person. You are starting to think the way they want you to think. That is when things become toxic. நானே என்னோட அம்மாவோட இன்னொரு ரெப்ளிகா ஆகிட்டு வரேன். That is when it becomes toxic. Or நான் என் அப்பாவோட இன்னொரு ரெப்ளிகா ஆகிட்டு வரேன். If I am able to think it is toxic, then they have not succeeded. So, understand that is who they are. They are your parents. You cannot say, I could get out somebody, get out somebody. They are your parents. But this is who she is. அவங்க அதை மாறவே போறதில்லை. அவங்க மாற்ற ட்ரை பண்ணவே பண்ணாத மாறவே போறது கிடையாது. Understand them and அவங்க ஒரு விஷயத்தை சொன்னாங்கன்னா அதை பகுத்தறிஞ்சு முடிவெடு. Okay, இதான் in case my mother I feel is toxic or my mother said this. Okay, then this is my mother who said it. I have to think twice. Look at you would have understood them by now where they are coming from, where they are trying to go with this. What are they trying to do? Because they are your parents, you would know that really well. Understand that. Think before you act on anything they say and do. I hope I've answered that because toxic is a very vast criteria. Spectrum, actually. Anything else? Okay, we'll look at this. Academic pressure and failure, have a plan, like I said, everybody should become achievement stuff. Then family and paternal expectations. See, family, அவங்க சூழல், அவங்க வளர்ந்த விதம், அவங்க உங்களுக்குள்ள கொடுத்த இன்புட், அவங்க நீ யாருன்னு நினைக்கிறத வச்சு எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன்ஸ் வச்சிருப்பாங்க. But in practical life, you only know what is happening. So try to draw a bridge between theirs and yours and have the guts to sit them down and explain it to them. Don't give excuses. Give them facts. Alright? So help them understand your world so that they can lower their expectations. Our expectations தாங்க முடியாம ஓடி போய் தற்கொலை பண்ணிக்கிறது is not the way out of this. You have to learn to explain yourself to the world. Get yourself out of that. Otherwise, don't give up. Alright? Mental health and lack of support, we have spoken about all that right now. Then social and peer pressure. Society and pressure, peer pressure is never going to end. Yes, stage of life எனக்கு peer pressure இருக்கு. But உங்க அளவுக்கு நாம ஏன் அதை ஃபீல் பண்றது இல்லைன்னா எங்களுக்கு இன்னைக்கு இருந்து போதும் அப்படிங்கிற மென்டாலிட்டி எங்கேஜ்ல வந்துடும். உங்களுக்கு you will want to prove them wrong. You will want to show that he is wrong or she is wrong. நான் அதுதான் நான் ப்ரூவ் பண்ணணும்னு நினைப்பீங்க. Don't try to do that. And peer pressure is the biggest form of pressure. It can finish a person. So please be kind to each other. Don't criticize a person on their looks, their color, their background, or the way they speak or the way they dress. It is very cruel. It can break a person. Be accepting. நீங்க ஸ்கூல்ல படிக்கிறப்ப எவ்வளவு அக்செப்டிங்கா இருந்திருப்பீங்க. உங்களுக்கு கிண்டல் பண்ண தெரியாது, கலாட்டா பண்ண தெரியாது. அவங்க யாரா இருந்தாலும் அவனுக்கு பிடிக்காது மேம். ஒரு பையன் சப்பாத்தியே ஒரு பையனுக்கு பிடிக்காது கிளாஸ்ல. எல்கேஜில இருந்து நீங்க ஒன்னாவே வருவீங்க. அவன் 8th ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் வந்து டப்பாவை திறந்து அவன் மூஞ்சி பீட் போயிடுச்சுன்னா அது என்னவா இருக்கும் அந்த பாக்ஸ்க்குள்ள? We know that. மேம் ஏன்டா மூஞ்சி எப்படி வச்சிருக்கு மேம்? அவனுக்கு சப்பாத்தி பிடிக்காது மேம், அவங்க அம்மா சப்பாத்தி கொடுத்துருப்பாங்களா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்ற அளவுக்கு நம்ம அக்செப்டிங்கா இருப்போம். We know that. Be that with everybody. Don't be cruel to a human being because it can finish a person. நீ வந்து சிம்பிளா கொடுக்குற ஒரு அப்படிங்கிற ஸ்மைலியோ இல்ல வந்து அப்படிங்கிறதுலயோ you can finish a person. You can send them into overthinking. You can make them நாம என்ன பண்ணிட்டோம் நீங்க பண்ணது இல்லையா? யாராவது ஒருத்தர் வந்து உன்னை வேலைக்கே பார்த்துட்டு போறாங்க, நீங்க ஏன் அவன் நீ பார்த்தான், எதுக்காக அப்படி பார்த்தான் அப்படி யோசிச்சது இல்லையா? It can finish a person. So don't be that. Don't be cruel. Be kind to each other. Alright? Say one. Uncertain career and future, we didn't speak about it. Look at where you want to be and go do a backward plan. Alright? Okay. This you very much can read it yourself. வாழ முடியாத வாழ்க்கைங்கிறது எதுவுமே கிடையாது. How do I plan my life? எல்லாத்தையும் plan பண்ணு. That is all. Have a plan and you can get through. Simplify things. Don't get frustrated. Alright?
When we understand mental issues as real, treatable and human, we replace fear with
Empathy and silent support. Yes, support each other through this. Each school working on friendship. Adukapram college it is networking only. You are there to help each other out. Why do I say school working on friendship? In the friendship, if you get it, meet in 10 years it will all be lost. College friendships are lost. Only school friendships will stick together because that was the age of innocence where you knew each other completely. Whereas in college, you can never know a person completely. It is only networking. You are here to help each other. 20 வருஷம் நாம ஏதாவது ஒரு தேவைன்னா இவனுக்கு போன் பண்ணா இவனுக்கு இருப்பான்ப்பா, தேவைக்கு தான் நம்ம கூப்பிடுவோம். அதுல ஒரு தப்பும் இல்லை. அதுல உங்களுக்கு ஒருத்தர் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிக்க பாருங்க. Because the future out there is big and difficult. Alright? I'm sorry to have bored you. Okay? Is there any more questions or shall we finish the session with this? Yep. Shall I close hands up? What else do you want me to talk about? I'll ask you to stop recording. I'm very conscious after the recording.